To a very, very special episode of Shooting It Straight with Donnie C. I am your host, Donnie C, and with me, as always, my good friend Dave. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm good. We have a great episode coming up, and we may have to talk about a certain subject that you're very comfortable with. So let's do it.
I'm on top of my game, baby. That's all I'm saying. I'm on top of my game. We'll see how this one goes. Mm-hmm. But if you've been with us a couple of times before, thank you for coming back. If you've been with us for a long time, we love having you here every time with us. So thank you even more. The more you're here, the more we love you. Is that true, Dave?
Yeah, let's go with that. You
should love everybody equally, Dave. That's just not true. It's a very bad choice. But all right, love everybody.
Way to set me up for failure.
If you haven't been with us before, let me give you a rundown of the show real quick. Basically, what happens is me and my friend Dave here, we shoot the shit and we have a good time. We try and make you laugh. We try and make you smile because we want to have a good time with you. And if you're having a good time, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, hit the like button, leave a comment, do whatever you got to do to let us know you're having fun with us because we enjoy knowing that you're enjoying us. Mm-hmm. And we answer your questions. But how do we answer your questions? Well, it's very simple. You send your questions into shootingitstraightwdc at gmail.com. What happens is my good friend Dave gets your questions. He reads them to me live while we're doing a recording or when we go live in general. Mm-hmm. So I never know what the questions are. I always go off the top of the dome and I try and hit it out of the park. I try and hit a home run, a grand slam. It's all sports related today. Dave, how'd you like that?
Good job.
I know my sports.
It's almost like you practiced for this episode.
I did some research. I found out it wasn't 40 love. But anyway, also we have a bunch of fun segments. Today's fun, maybe not so fun for me all the time, but we're doing the movie quotes again. We're doing quick flicks. Now, the last time we did quick flicks, it was a little bit better because Dave changed the game. The first time we did it, Dave gave me all these obscure lines nobody's ever heard of, and nobody gets the movie. So we changed it round 2, made it a little bit better. I had a 50-50 after the first round. It was like a 2-round game. It got a lot better. Today, I'm hoping that my guest and I can figure this shit out together because he's good with this, and I have not been so good with this. I don't know why, but it just hasn't worked out right. But hopefully today's a better day. Hopefully you play along and you have a good time. And like always, I'll have an idiom at the end, so it's idioms with idiots. Today should be a good one, though. I can't wait. I can't wait. If you get the opportunity, check us out on our social medias, please. We've got a bunch of social media right here. Check them out. We also have at tpublic.com, we got a bunch of merch. That's right. We got different logos. We got different characters. We got different everything. You check it out. You have a good time. And at night, when you're scared at night and you're all alone, you bite a pillow and you're never alone. Donnie C is always with you, holding you tight, keeping you comfortable, having a good night's sleep. Check it out. No, Dave, you didn't like that?
Hey, that was perfection, buddy. Way to pitch the pillow.
That's right. Pitching the pillow. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Mm-hmm. The special guest. I got a list of things over here. Here we go. You ready, Dave?
There we go.
I don't know if you noticed about this guest. He's like a beautiful mind, and he knows it too, so I can say it. Cocky son of a bitch. He knows it. So, he studied abroad. I studied abroad too, but it was slightly different. He went to the UK at Oxford. I studied a blonde and a brunette at the bar. But he studied abroad at Oxford. He's a Shakespearean thespian. He's played Shakespearean plays and nonsense all over the place. He's helped create battle scenes on Game of Thrones, teaching people how to fight with weapons. So don't fuck with him. I'm going to get you to spit one of these. He has been on ESPN radio. He has been on Amazon. He has been on CBS News. He has been, what else has he done? He's XM Radio. He's the #1 bestseller of the Black Book fantasy book. This is not this year's. I have to get this year's. This was last year's. Dear Don, may your balls be plentiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Also, he's got a wrestling podcast he does. This guy works more than I do, Dave. It's unreal. And he works at FantasyPros as the host with the most. Mm-hmm. But his best attribute to it all is he's also my cousin. And that is where it all goes ahead for him. So without further ado, please welcome man, the myth, the legend.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
Oh my God.
Take a look, it's in a book.
Joey! Where it all started, buddy.
I can go anywhere.
Good memory. Good memory.
Friends to know and
All right,
ways
let's
to
go.
grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, one story about that. Now, as a child, I was obviously a child actor as well, and I was on Reading Rainbow twice. I begged. It was my favorite show as a little kid. I begged my mother. I said, I want to be on Reading Rainbow. I want to be on there. I want to go into the book reviews and do that stuff. Well, they took me into the casting. They loved me. They thought it was really funny. I had the same accent as Joe Pesci from Goodfellas as a 5-year-old, and it was hilarious, and I was missing a tooth. But I was so bummed because I didn't realize that you don't get to meet LeVar Burton. I thought I'd get to meet LeVar Burton. I did not. I went to the studio, and I'm just in some studio. I'm expecting, like, as a kid, you don't understand how television works. I'm expecting some sort of, glamorous thing, and we're going to be on location, and there's LeVar, and there's me. No LeVar Burton. I went back the second time, too. No LeVar Burton that time. So, LeVar, if you're watching, I would like to have lunch.
Is that too much to ask? A lunch?
No. Lunch?
No.
Listen, if it happens, Joe, I'll pay for it.
There you go. I'm
I'll
sending
free
you the
lunch
check.
for both of you. I just want to have a camera there to intervene. All right, let's get Reading Rainbow off before I get in trouble.
That was good. You got me on that one. See, and like most child stars, I did hit that dark patch of my 20s. It really, and that's when I met Dave.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's about right. You met Dave a couple of times, but one of my favorites, and we'll get into the show in a minute, just a little backdrop. Dave had a bachelor party.
Yes, I did.
And we went to New York. And while we were in New York, we were at Dave & Buster's.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having a blast.
Yeah.
And as I'm there, I turn around, and who's there? That guy. Right there. I'm like, Joey!
And I am at another bachelor party with my friends. But the difference is I'm there with some very, nice, simple people who just want to, it was a day bachelor party base. We went to the Yankee games. It was really fun. Then we went out after, and then with Dave & Buster's was like the last thing. Dave & Buster's was like the first thing on your evening, and it was like 11:30 at night. And the groom to be does know my cousin, or at least knows of him. And he turns to our mutual friend Dan and myself, and he says, "Whatever happens next, you can't let me go with Donnie."
Oh, no.
Because he knew what was going to go, especially because you guys were at a bachelor party, Dave. So
yeah.
The only person who knew was Donnie, and that was the look of fear in his eye was stunning.
My reputation.
And he grabbed it, and it was like a very sobering moment for him that he and this was before The Hangover, I want to say, before that movie came out.
Well before that.
He knew, exactly kind of nobody, that could have been the original Hangover story. Like, you never know what could have been in terms of bachelor parties, but alas, we did not join up with you. I was all for it. I just want the record to show. I knew exactly what fun I would be in for.
Yeah.
But, you got to respect the groom at the end of the day.
Of course. And I respected that. So we did our shots, and then you went along your way.
Hey,
and
did you pay for strippers with some of the tickets from some of the games?
No, we did not. But it's funny because, like, anywhere we go with Don, when he lived in Jersey, it was like, even when we went to Florida, we went to the city, we went anywhere, we would always run into somebody that Don knew. So I'm like, it's just the weirdest thing. It's like Dave & Buster's. Who would Don know at Dave & Buster's?
City. Well, he's gonna know
in the
somebody
city.
man.
That is an interesting concept, though. If you are going to combine the Dave and Buster's world with the world of exotic dancing, you think like all the, when you go to the counter with these tickets, you could just buy a crappy eraser. Imagine,
make
some
it
of the
rain
things
for
you could buy.
a breast implant or something.
Who knows? I mean, I think, especially where you live in Arizona now, that sounds like a business model that would work.
I might work. Hey, listen, you're coming out soon. Maybe we'll put our two heads together. We'll come up with something.
East Worldwide has nothing on us.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, Dave, I know you've got some questions for Joey, so let's get into little quick questions for Joe. While you're here. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us.
Yeah. So
I crashed your show a couple times, so now it's like, this is nice.
This is like a day off for me. This is fun. I don't have to host. I don't have to do any reads. This is great.
You're good.
This is just fun. Yeah.
So it's baseball related and one wrestling question because I don't get to. Football is my main sport that I can watch. Anything else, I really don't. I can't dive into deep because family,
Not
wife.
a big WNBA guy, Dave.
Yeah, no, I can't do that either. But with the new rules in the NBA, in the Major League Baseball, with the time clock, the pitcher clock, and the DH in the NL.
NL, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How has that gone over?
I feel like Donnie's trying to ask me.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to get the words out. So
I expect this from him. I expect better from you, Dave.
So yes, I'm sorry. The National League never had a DH. Now they do. Pitchers could take forever to throw a ball. Now they don't. How has that worked in baseball?
Extremely positively all across the board. They've gotten rid of the biggest one is they got rid of the shift last year.
That was another one.
Getting out of control. Guys were out of position. You're taking shortstops and playing them basically in right center field sometimes. And my whole thing is like, of course, there's always shifts in baseball, but people didn't leave their position. It got to a point where you would see like 6 guys on one side of the field, and it's just getting absurd at some point. So cleaning that up helped quite a bit because obviously more balls in play, more offense. That's great. The DH,
love balls in play.
I mean, sign me up. The DH was something that was inevitable because what's happened in baseball is the protection of the pitcher. And it goes, I mean, pitchers aren't hitting in high school. They're not hitting in college. They're not hitting in the minor leagues. So what was the point of the National League continuing with the DH? Because these pitchers have been protected that whole time. And they were basically automatic outs. And, with getting steroids out of the game, you lost a lot of offense in the game. So getting rid of the shift, taking pitchers out of hitting, those are 2 great ways to get more offense in the game. More offense is fun in the game. And then, the game length was getting out of hand. Back in the day, you get Nomar Garcia-Parra, who was, putting his batting gloves on 5,000 times, going back and forth. You'd have Daisuke Matsuzaka, who was like a human rain delay on the mound, taking forever to throw a pitch. They'd clock him sometimes of like a minute and a half in between pitches, which is, if you think about it, that's absurd. That is an absolute absurd amount of time. So the game length went from over like 305 or 310 average to somewhere around 240, 245. Yeah. And that is massively better too, because people, especially when you have so many games now, Major League Baseball has 162 games. That's twice as much as the NBA, twice as much as the NHL. And it has so much more competition. It was America's pastime because there was nothing else to do. Now you can watch Spike Ball on the Ocho. You can watch anything you want, right? At all times, sports-wise, on demand. So baseball had to clean up a little bit and not you're only allowed to throw over to first base so many times now too. That was another thing. Like, look, you can throw over twice. After that, that's it. That's all you get. All of those rules, letting stolen bases happen again, like more offense, all of that's really helped move the game forward, made the game quicker again. And it looks a lot more like the game I grew up with in the 80s that I love, that I fell in love with, that was very intense, very quick, very fast paced. Now, also, most of those guys were on massive amounts of amphetamines. So that also helped. But you took those out of the game too. So at least we can get these rule changes and kind of spike baseball back up. And it helped because the ratings were really good. The postseason ratings were the best they've been in a long time. And it also helps when you've got the big market teams that are good, like the Dodgers and the Yankees, and now the Mets again too. That helps too.
Yeah, because I remember like a Red Sox Yankee game would be right in about 4-hour game.
4.5 hours. I mean, just,
and it's ridiculous.
Cancel your weekend plans. Like that, it was the worst.
And I knew when the new rules were coming out, a lot of the baseball purists were like, I don't know about that. So I just wondered how that.
And the purists, most of them will tell you it's all for the best now. I mean, there were some people that still like. I was somebody that always said, I didn't like American League Baseball, but it got to a point where it just got absurd. Again, if a pitcher's not hitting from the time he's 17 years old,
Yeah.
you're then going to get to the highest level of major leagues and
Good
you're
luck.
going to hit. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Like at some point, it got out of control.
Right, and you only got one outlier, which is Ohtani. He's the only pitcher that can hit. So really, and so
He's
it's
the
like
greatest baseball player that's ever done it.
Even
And it's
I know
not-
his name.
Nobody forget. Even Donnie knows who he is. And
I mean, that's how you know he's popular.
You know, if you drop Babe Ruth into baseball now, forget it. If you drop Shohei Ohtani back into the 20s, he would dominate just like he does today.
Mhm.
It's scary that a human being could be that good at everything.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be so good as a power hitter and being able to steal 50 bases too. It's another thing where you can pitch. Be one of the best pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's last year's book. You got to get this year's
It is
book.
like-
Yeah.
How do you pick the guy on the cover?
Well, we have a whole model search that we do. No,
Do
we
you?
go through
Let me know.
he's volunteered for 26.
You look pretty good in that hat. You actually,
Right?
you know,
I mean, come on. I
maybe
got
dye
shirt
the
and
beard a
whole
little
thing.
bit. The Yankees actually finally got rid of their rule where now you can have facial hair.
Yeah,
It
you
has
can have
to be-
facial hair
Norman.
now.
It has
Yeah.
to be tidy facial hair. So
It's
you know.
tidy.
Yeah.
yeah, clean it up a little bit there, Mattingly. Shave those sides.
Hey, Golden Glove, baby, first base. I know Mattingly, number
So-
23.
The other question I got because he
I know
said you.
Mattingly.
Yeah, well, you
He's
should.
lefty too. That's all I really know about him. I got it.
You said you got the wrestling podcast too as well. I grew up on the Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan era. Checked out because I got older. Came back at the Attitude Era with Stone Cold and The Rock and all that. How does because I don't watch wrestling really that much, but how does the current era,
Oh, it's so good.
Don't
you
get
know,
me
does it
Don't
compare
get
to any
me
like?
Oh my God, we watched it at my house last year.
Yeah, and then like,
it's
and I'm
so
seeing
good.
like just John Cena coming back and turning heel. Like, how has that been?
It's been
you
great.
know?
Look,
Yeah.
we, you know, because I had, you know, a lot. I always loved wrestling too. I grew up in that same era you did.
Mhm.
I became a kind of a lapsed fan too in like the early '90s, and then
It's wrestling.
I was in Philadelphia in college for the Attitude Era, which Philly is one of the great wrestling towns, and that was also the height of ECW. So it was
Right.
just like, you know, being able to see ECW live and all this, like, it was crazy. Those were some crazy days. I was at WrestleMania 15 for Rock and Stone Cold there with my idiot friends, where you know tickets were still really super cheap. Then again, same thing as you, kind of lapsed. I got back into it about 2016, 17, around that time, and being someone who you know did combat all those years and understood fight choreography, I always had a passion for it anyway. I always they're the best athletes on the planet, and there's no off season for them, and they night in, night out, and their skill set, their ability to work together, it's incredible what they are able to do. And again, I would say anybody go take one bump on that mat and then tell me about
fake.
what's real. It's
Yeah.
choreographed just like every movie you watch.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't make it easy,
Mm-hmm.
and it should never be belittled because what they do is just incredible.
Yeah.
And the era you're in now is great because it's being booked by somebody who, you know, in Triple H, who understands, you know, what the fans want, will give that to them, is not afraid to listen to the fan base, and is, you know, encouraging the better work. And that's why you're getting like the CM Punks returning. You get this amazing Cody Rhodes run. And you have last year we were at WrestleMania in nights 1 and 2 in Philadelphia. It was unbelievable. And that was 25 years after I went. And then I went with my kids, which was cool. And I got my kids watching it, and I explained to them, like, they're not trying to hurt each other. It's just like a play they're putting on. And when I could show them and understand, like, this is how, you know, watch this, see, watch how he's going to prepare for this and do this. And you take the illusion out of it a little bit, and they're not worried somebody's going to get hurt. They fell in love with it, which is great because I lost like a year or two of my life to Frozen because they had two daughters. So then all of a sudden they started to turn a little bit and got into WWE. And that was back in, like I said, 2017. So we're like 9 years almost now, 2016.
Yeah.
And they still watch it. We still watch all the shows. We've been to the shows at the Garden every year after Christmas. We've been to SummerSlam. We've been to NXT. We've been to WrestleMania. All this,
You're at all of them.
But you know what? You get your money's worth, man.
Yeah.
You go there, you spend, you know, $50 to, you know, a couple $100 of tickets, depending on where you want to sit. You get your money's worth. You know it's going to be a fun time. You know it's going to. Sporting events can be very frustrating sometimes if your team gets their ass kicked, right? WWE, it's like part rock concert, part sporting event, and it's great because my older one is not a big sports fan. She loves the wrestling because she enjoys the pomp, the circumstance, the soap opera, the storytelling, all that fun stuff, and the drama. And the little one likes the violence, so it works. So it just works.
I like
for our
the
family.
new outfits that the women wear. That they
Yeah,
never
Donnie's
wore
a
that
big
when
fan.
we were kids.
And you know what? They're lucky too because they kind of came of age watching wrestling when the women's division really kind of, and the women are just unbelievable. Some of the athletes there, the Bianca Belairs of the world and the Charlotte Flairs are unbelievable athletes, Rhea Ripley. So I would encourage, if you're going to get back into it, it's kind of an interesting time right now. Yeah, and it has been really fun the last 2 years.
I've been slowly dipping my toe in only because of Pat McAfee, because he's like, I listen to his show all the time, and then, but you know, like
no. I know some of those guys, they're good dudes.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, I want to get it. He's like, he had the one match or whatever, and then I'm like, wait a minute, WrestleMania is 2 nights now? When the heck did that happen? You know,
and
then
now SummerSlam is 2 nights. It's in Jersey this year at MetLife, so we're calling it Hot WrestleMania. That's what that's around the.
When we wrestled back in the day, it was called wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
we used to get in trouble too.
We used to get in trouble.
Would always be in the living room. We would put all the couch cushions on, and we would have matches. And you would jump off the end of the you'd go flying elbow Macho Man Randy Savage style onto the couch cushions. And my grandmother would scream, "Don't you wrestle in there! You're
gonna break something. Stop wrestling.
Stop wrestling!" And then we would go right back to it 5 minutes later.
Yeah, always had a good time. All right, you ready for some questions for me?
Yeah, let's go to shooting range.
Let's go.
Trying to class it up, Joe. I don't know if you can hear that, but we're trying to class it up. I might have to change it out to there.
I love it.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Welcome to the shooting range, Joe. I classed it up with a little jazzy music intro.
It was very good. I enjoyed that. Is that Dave on the clarinet? I heard.
Yeah, that's me.
Dave on the clarinet. I'm playing the skin flute. It's beautiful. It's beautifully done.
Oh, the skin flute, huh?
It's a lot different than your show, Joe.
Not that much different.
All right.
What do you got for me, Dave?
Are you ready? All right.
I'm ready.
If your wife changed in a way that no longer aligned with the person you fell in love with, would you make... Would that make you question the future of your relationship? There we go.
Okay, this is a two-parter.
Uh-oh.
Because if that happened out of nowhere, then yes, it would be a red flag, something's going on, why the sudden change and everything else. But here's the thing. It's a very simple path. When you're in a relationship, you have two people walking down a path. At any point in time, somebody could have a different opinion or something go this way, and then you start to go. As you get further down that path, if you guys don't reconcile, figure it out, or work together to get back and face the right direction, you'll never get back. So it's a steady pace of change that is the one that you should be able to fix prior to it getting to that point. If it's a quick turnaround, then it was something dramatic that changed in the relationship, in the feelings, or something else, and there's a bigger issue than just the relationship itself.
Damn. Alrighty then.
How you like them apples?
Who are you and what have you done with my cousin?
Exactly. Holy crap.
People want this is the question. I give the right answers.
Man, where's AI when I need it? I should throw this one compared to...
Here's the cousin Donnie answer.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're banging her right, she's never going nowhere. What's the problem? That's the answer you were looking for?
No, not me. No. All right, yeah, I see what you're saying. Something could happen if you don't reconcile it early on. It could just get...
It gets bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, what were we fighting about? I don't know. What were you fighting about? I don't know. And all that bullshit. And then you're 5 miles down the road, and you guys are so far apart that you can't even see each other anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas if you figure it out sooner than that, you can actually face the right direction, come back. And even if you have a conversation, say, okay, listen, you're all the way to fuck over here. I'm all the way over here. Obviously, we're not on the same page anymore. What is the compromise to get us at least facing the right book to get to the right page? And then at least you're going towards the right spot in the future.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's why I do this show.
Sometimes it's going deep with Don. Sometimes it's going deep.
Yeah. My answer is I've been divorced already, so I think you already know the answer. Next question.
Very good.
All right, let's see how you handle this one. I'm tired of all these deep questions, so I got to throw you a curveball here and there.
Okay, let's go.
You're competing in an intense arm wrestling match against a sumo wrestler, and the only strategy you have is mind games. How do you try to win?
Good God, I fucking wear a Twinkie on my head. I don't
Twinkie on your head.
I don't know. Sushi roll. It's a mind game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would just try and make them laugh or something. I would just start making funny faces or something. I mean, how do you get in a sumo's head? I've never spoken to a sumo, so personally, I don't know what the answer is for that. I
see the guy get up.
Yeah, exactly. He's
I feel
gonna
like I'm
stand up
winning
to me.
the arm wrestling match.
Hey!
Sumo.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, he's playing the mind game on you because you're like,
Right, exactly.
shit.
I would go there in my own special diaper. Not what they
Is that
wear,
different
no,
from the
that's not
one
it.
you're wearing right now?
Right. That depends.
Okay. That depends. Nice.
Thank you. I put
Well
that
done.
in.
He'll
right
be
on
here
there.
all week. Try
Yeah.
the deal, everybody.
Did the crowd like it though? I just want to wonder. Does the crowd enjoy it? Oh, the crowd likes it. The crowd likes it.
It took them a while. Sometimes that's one of those freezer jokes where you go to the freezer to get ice. I go, I get it now. It's funny. Yeah, that's good.
All right, so you have no mind game. You just take the L
I
and
don't
run.
know if I have a mind game. I mean, what do? I put a fucking feather on my thing and I try and tickle him on my wrist when I don't know. What's the mind game with a sumo wrestler? You wear sushi. I don't know. I don't know. I start being. I come in as fat bastard. I eat the fats and the fats because I eat. I don't know.
Get in my belly. All right.
All right, Joe, you got a question for me?
Yeah, I do actually. I know recently you took a European vacation.
I did.
And-
Look, you've been Parliament.
Yeah, there you go. And I was curious about two things. The first being, do you think now that you have, had that time in Europe that you could live permanently out of the United States, just in case that comes up? You never know nowadays. And also, my other question is, did you enjoy the bidets? Are you a bidet guy? Are you a
shit! We
convert?
didn't even talk about that.
No,
Did you even use that?
Because I will full disclosure, I'm a believer. I think it's the greatest thing ever.
I know that about
I
you,
want
yes.
one. That's when you know that thing when you win the lottery, there'll be signs. When you see a Japanese toilet in my house,
Yes.
that will be the sign that I want it to make music. I want it to open up. I want it to change the lights. I want it to have the whole systems in there. All systems go. So
Now,
the bidet and
when
then
you
the
walk
permanent
in,
residence.
what kind of music are you looking for? Because I mean, if you
I
come
want
in
nice,
and go,
relaxing call. I want like the Shire of Lord of the Rings sort of play. Yes. Yes.
This is
And
our
then-
Zen music.
And then Jojo Baggins went to take a huge dump. It was a
Donnie C
clean one.
goes into the bathroom.
One dump to rule them all. One dump to find them, and on the toilet wipe them.
Come
That's
forth,
nice.
young dumpster, and entry the bidets. One, could I live there? I think I could in certain spots. I mean, you are like me, Dave. You're a little bit different than me and Joe. Me and Joe are chameleons.
Mhm.
And the fact of the matter is, Joe, where can you go that you wouldn't be able to fit in?
That is interesting. The South would probably be my answer.
I think you could.
Alabama would probably be.
Alabama. I
tougher-
reckon you'd be all
That
right.
would be a tougher swing for me. No
That would be
offense
a
to everyone
tougher one.
watching Alabama. I think that'd be. I'm just a dumb city boy. It would be
Right.
hard. I could move to Italy tomorrow and be
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
mean,
good. I was curious.
I don't
Like,
know I
did
don't
the
know
motherland
language.
speak to you? Is what
I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's incredible. Like, could I live there? Yeah, of course. But would I miss the U.S. and stuff like that too? I'm sure that I would. I mean, it's a
But
beautiful
now we have the
vacation
internet. See,
spot.
I feel
I know,
like
it's
with
different now.
streaming services, internet, like how
Yeah.
different is it? Like, oh, I mean, really? I mean, I work from home. I barely leave my house some days. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
I could go to the gym in Italy and I could come home and work, and then I could go and walk around the piazza.
Yeah,
Now that's
And
much
for you-
nicer than going to Lowe's. You
yeah,
know what
for
I mean?
me,
Like,
it's totally different. It would be totally different because the electric is slightly different, and every day you go off 50 hertz, we go off 60 hertz. Like there's differences and stuff
so
like
Europe
that.
offends you as an electrician? Is that the
Yes, as an electrician, I am offended by their 50. They're 10 hertz behind us.
How many
that hurts.
voltage adapters did you buy? Just out of
I had
curiosity.
6. I had 6 of them, but that's because I had multiple kids in multiple rooms.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was
sure.
also 6 of us, so everybody got their own adapter. If you lose it, to you. I can't fix all of it, but I can provide you with the beginning startup.
That also sounds like you should play the Lord of the Rings music for that That story. It's like I'm giving and 6 voltage adapters were given to the worlds of men, and they went off, and one of them lost it. And they were shit out of luck.
And speaking of shit out of luck, being on the bidet.
Yes.
I did use it. I did use a bidet.
How did you leave out in all the conversations we've had? How did you leave out the bidet?
I'm disappointed, Dave, that you didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
And it was weird at first because it's a very odd feeling.
Ooh.
But you do feel much cleaner.
Right?
So I do like the idea of feeling cleaner than just wiping, because if you think about it, when you wipe, you're just smearing. You smear the toast.
Yeah.
Smear the toast. There's Dave, that's not in your shows, but that's from the Birdcage.
Okay.
I'm just practicing. You smear the toast. Here's the toast. But so for that aspect, I liked it. But I mean, do I need one? I don't need one. But I mean, if I had one, I would use it.
There you go. That's good. Yeah. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So now I just have to figure out how to run the electric to it. This way we can plug it in and have everything right.
Well,
so
look,
since we're not in Italy, we're
be careful whatever you're plugging into where. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Are you ready with your movie lines, Dave?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Joe.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready. Movie lines. I mean,
you would think so. You would think.
I was a professional actor for 15 plus years. I can
and I hope that it helps, because some of Dave's lines, I go, where the fuck did you get that?
Yeah, but this surprises me because you're a pretty good movie guy, Don.
Which is why I started this, and then it turned to shit.
Right. To his point. The first time we did it, I thought
he said point. He almost gave you credit, and he's like,
yeah.
Pull that back. We're not giving him that much.
In my head, I thought they were easy, but they weren't.
Okay.
The next time we did it, I did all classic 80s movies where I'm like, Don's got to know all of these. Nope.
In all fairness, Donnie from 1987 to about 1994 was basically grounded in his room.
That is fair.
He was not allowed out.
Since I was allowed out, I wasn't watching a lot of movies. I was picking up a lot of broads.
Okay.
So,
well, were you grounded in the 90s? Because these next are kind of in the 90s.
In the early 90s, yes. but I learned to develop from commercials some of the main lines, so we should be good. So let's see how this goes.
All right.
How's this?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are we supposed to buzz in and is it like, or we just... Does Donnie get to name him first?
Your name is we'll do your name is your buzzer.
Name is your buzzer. Okay, go.
That's right. All right.
All right. So the last time, we might not be. It's going to scroll on the bottom, so I don't know how much room we're going to have for the scroll.
All right. Go ahead.
I would like a dramatic reading, Dave.
Dramatic reading. I don't know how that's going to work, but all right. So the last time we did this, I read off the clue, and I gave you a chance to answer. If you didn't know it, I gave you, an option for two things. So if you want me to just read you the thing and give you the options, I could do that too. It's up to you guys.
No, we're going to go read it to us first. We'll see if we get it. Name is our buzzer. And then if we don't get it, then give us the options because you picked stupid movie lines.
All right. Well, this one should be easy. I know one of the two of you is going to get this. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice...
Silence of the Lambs.
He is correct.
Yes.
One story about that. I don't know if you guys ever knew this. You know that first scene where she walks in and to see him? Do you know this story?
I've heard the story, but go ahead.
Also the story is that, being the incredible actor Anthony Hopkins is, and he's this guy that was, obviously eating people, that, that first scene, she's walking by all these creepy people and all this stuff. And then he's just standing there waiting for her. And they asked him, why were you standing there waiting for her? You didn't know she was visiting you. And he said, because he can smell her, he said. Ooh. Oh my God. Now that's why Anthony Hopkins is great. Also, fun fact, our cousin Anna Marie, Donnie and mine, she used to work in California at a hotel where Anthony Hopkins was living after that movie. and was nominated for the Academy Award. She saw the movie and the next day met Anthony Hopkins in an elevator. Now, you've seen Silence of the Lambs. To meet him in an elevator, very terrifying idea.
Wow,
of course,
I
he was
never
the
heard
nicest guy, but of course, this made her very uneasy at times. And then he knew it made her uneasy, and he would call and leave her voicemails and things like that as Hannibal Lecter. She could only have saved these because she got to know him very well because he was living there and she was like a director of operations. Oh, hilarious.
Wow.
How did I not know this? Okay, sidebar.
Hello,
I don't
Anne-Marie.
know how long the show
Yeah, no, go ahead. Good.
I'd like to order some room service, please.
Since we're talking about meeting celebrities and whatnot, Joe, tell the story about when you met Pesci.
Oh. So a hotel I used to work at in New Jersey.
You gotta get in the hotel business. You don't know what you're
the
missing.
hotel. That's how you meet everybody, man. I've met so many celebrities when I worked at. Some great, some the worst people on earth. Joe Pesci used to have a celebrity golf tournament at the time, and every year he would do this, and they would have these celebrities come. They'd stay at the hotel and they'd play golf, and so I checked in. I remember that night, because it was celebrities. It was always, they don't come to the desk. They go see the manager for their stuff, right? And the next morning, I'm there at the hotel, and Joe Pesci is there getting in his car, and he asks me to go help put his golf clubs in the trunk for him. And I'm walking to his car with the trunk is open, Joe Pesci's behind me, and all I keep thinking about, this is about the worst case scenario a human being can find himself in.
Yep.
There's an open trunk, Joe Pesci's behind me, and I'm carrying something in two hands. I'm going to get whacked. This is going to be a terrible scenario. I've never been more afraid of my entire life. But nice guy. And at the time, he was dating Angie Everhart, which is the craziest couple ever. If you know who Angie Everhart is, and you've seen a picture of Joe Pesci, he's, he is shorter than me, and I'm not tall. And Angie Everhart was basically a 5'10" redheaded supermodel. Yeah,
wow.
Unbelievable. Like, just crazy. So there you go. Joe Pesci, putting it down.
Hey, Joe, if you want to have lunch with me, you let me know, and Joe will pay for that lunch.
There you go. Whatever you need, Mr. Pesci.
All
right, next movie line.
Number 2. If the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the turks.
Joe, Jurassic Park.
Yep.
I wouldn't have gotten that one. I wasn't going to get that one at all.
Great Jeff Goldblum performance. Great one-liners. He also has that fantastic line, too, in the movie where he says, they were so busy trying to ask themselves if they could, they didn't stop to ask themselves if they should.
If they should. Yeah.
That's how I feel about artificial intelligence and everything else that's going on. Yeah. It's like, just because we can do something, maybe we should stop and say, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, dinosaurs are roaming.
That is the end for everybody.
Yeah, bad news. Do you like any other Jurassic Park movie? Anyone besides the first one? First one is it for me. Everything else I think is crap and unwatchable. The reboot, the first one I liked. The other two, no.
Yeah,
and they got another one coming out this year now. Scarlett.
Yeah, and I'm like, because the commercial was during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I had no clue they were doing another one, and I'm like, why? It's been done to death. That the last 2, 5 and 6 killed the series, I thought. So why are we rebooting it again? I don't know.
I don't understand why people are still bringing back dinosaurs after this long. Like, have you not learned your lesson? I mean,
no, this time it's gonna work.
I got a thicker chain to walk my dinosaur down the park this time. What's the matter with you?
We're only gonna make the cute ones. All right, next one.
All right.
All right, number 3. Did you ever flashy thingy me?
Done.
Uh-oh, what?
Men in Black.
Wow, you are correct. Don got one. Holy shit.
I got one.
I'm glad you got it because you're gonna laugh. I've never seen Men in Black.
Oh wow.
It's like this, like how 1 or 2 movies like major film just slip away from you.
Yeah.
That was the one. I just never saw it.
This is why we're gonna go on the Amazing Race show.
That's right. We complement each other.
That's right.
We finish each other's
sandwiches.
Oh God! To bring it back
I knew you were going to say sandwiches.
I know.
Bring it back to Frozen.
I started saying sentences, and I go, "He's expecting sandwiches."
I am, and you gave it to me, and I'm very, very grateful.
All right, number 4. Oh man, how did you get the beans above the Franks?
Done.
Joe, no.
Done.
Something about Mary.
Oh, look, he's on a hot streak. Look at that.
Coming in, Joe. I'm coming in.
That was a great movie back. Oh my God, I think that was the beginning of the it was pushing the limits of comedy with like gross humor in a way. I think back then.
He shot a load and put it
Right.
in her hair.
Right.
That was amazing. I was so proud of him.
So that same cousin that I was talking about before, when our grandmother, my grandmother, Donnie's great aunt.
The segue is not good, Joe. Just saying.
She loved a dick joke. Any dick. My grandmother. So I remember we took her to see Johnny Dangerously in the scene where they have elephantitis of the testicles. We thought she was gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So
It's
at the time she had a stroke, and then she was living with my parents, and my mom and dad went out, and we decided I was home from college or whatever it was, and I said to my cousin who was also over visiting, I said, let's get Grandma Taco Bell, because something she could never eat but she would want to because she wasn't allowed. And then we showed her a funny movie. We said, let's want to watch Something About Mary. I swear to God, she laughed so hard she had tears in her eyes. Yeah. And that was in the first 5 seconds just because of the beans above the franks. It was just, oh my God. So,
all right, we got 2 more here. Let's try to get through them.
All right, well, we're tied. So
we're tied right
now.
You
got to go. All right, my first day as a woman, and I'm already getting hot flashes.
Joe, Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right.
Yes. Hello.
And you know what's funny?
On the way, dear.
You know what's fun, Donna? My job was to try to find 2 movies that would be similar and I could throw you off with or whatever. And you had mentioned The Birdcage, and that was one of them. But yes, Mrs. Doubtfire.
How great is Robin Williams?
He was awesome.
He's my favorite of all time.
That's a great. If you love Robin Williams, you gotta watch. A couple years ago, I think it was HBO, or it might have been shown. I think it was HBO though. They did that Mind of Robin Williams documentary. It was like 2 hours long about his whole life and coming up and in the comedy scene in the 70s. Just fascinating. What a fascinating guy too.
He was
really,
amazing, and he was
really
such a great guy. He really cared about people. And
great
stuff like
person,
that too.
great actor. Yeah. Tremendous.
Alrighty, so
all right,
Joseph,
Don, this is it. I put you away.
Donna pushed it. Yeah, there we go. All right.
I'm going to show you how I'm going to win. Go ahead.
Well, if we tie it up, I think we need to go to like a sports movie quote.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't have a 7th one.
Like the quote that's under Dave, does he even know what that quote is?
I can't even read that right now. What does it say?
All right, don't even look at it. Don't even look at it.
All right, we'll use that.
Tiebreaker.
We'll use that as a tiebreaker.
All right, I got to make sure there's no tiebreaker.
All right. You're the weakest link.
Just get him out of this scenario.
Right. The tribe has spoken. You're out. All right. Now you wouldn't believe me if I told you. I'm sorry. Now you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I could run like the wind blows.
Don.
Dope.
Don.
I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Forrest Gump.
Holy shit! He got it.
Wherever I went, I was running. I can run as fast as wind blow. It was something like that.
You just got in front of me on that one. So let's go to the quote below Dave for the time.
Okay, so my quote says, "You put snot on the ball." What movie is Major League?
Major League. I don't know. I saw
Joe.
Joe, Major League. Yep.
You win.
Damn it. I saw Major League for the first time.
That's awesome. He brought his own props. That's great.
My carrot top back here.
I saw that last year for the first time.
You saw Major. Now that's really interesting. So as an adult, did you enjoy it? Because I think it's one of those movies you see as a kid that you fall in love with when you're like a 12-year-old boy and you're like, this is the greatest movie ever. As a 40-something adult, did you enjoy it?
It was okay. I mean, but the problem is it's a sports movie.
Well,
For me, that's not the highlight. B, you like how I go A, B?
Yeah. You're like that kid from Home Alone. You're like Buzz. A,
and then the second thing.
and D.
There's so much hype on it over the years.
Right, that's the problem. It can't live up.
That going into it, I'm like, okay. Like when I watched The Sandlot, because I watched The Sandlot for the first time last year also, and You're Killing Me, Smalls was such a small line in the movie. Right. And I expected it to be such a big thing, and it just wasn't. I'm like,
it pops up a couple times.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it didn't do anything. I was like, I expected so because I know the line. I know the Sandlot.
I think I remember having this conversation with somebody. I think The Princess Bride is like that too. You watch it in your childhood.
Princess Bride's a classic.
Right,
Yeah.
it's a classic. But
Yeah.
I think if you watch it the first time as an adult, you don't understand. But then
Yeah.
you grew up with it as a child, you watch it with your kids, all of a sudden you're getting all these other jokes that are adult jokes that you never got, so you actually appreciate it a different way.
Yeah.
That's really interesting though, because I do think there's a lot of films that are like that they're classics when you grow up with them, and if you get your kids to grow up with them, they love them too. But if you just were to show Princess Bride to some like random 35-year-old person never saw it, they'd be like,
What the
yeah,
hell is
okay,
this?
like I get it, but like what's so special? And
What about the Never-Ending Story? Has anybody seen the Never-Ending Story as an adult?
I saw it as a kid, but
I saw it as a kid.
I saw it as a kid. See,
As a kid, but I haven't seen it as an adult. I'm wondering what a trail. Like I'm wondering like what that is.
I think we all were scarred when that horse died.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When I was a kid, that used to scare the crap out of me, or whatever, because
now that we're all grown up, do you think that the 80s did
well.
a very bad job of? I feel like they over prepared us for the dangers of quicksand.
Quicksand is a joke.
Cartoons.
It doesn't happen that fast.
Princess Bride.
Slow. Yeah.
The Never-Ending
Fire
Story.
Pit.
Like all these. Quicksand seemed like it was like there's a good chance you're gonna die of quicksand.
Right.
As an adult.
It's everywhere in the jungle.
Not once have I come.
I've never seen. I'd love to see quicksand. I'd love to throw something into the quicksand and watch it.
It's
Just the same.
You're in Arizona. There's no quicksand. It's full of sand out there.
yeah, there's got to be a
I haven't
spot.
found any quick.
I don't know. I think certain movies are, just to put a bow on that, I think certain movies are meant to be watched in the decade or the era that it was created in. You know what I mean? Because in 2025, the Major League movie is not going to hit like it would back, when it first came out.
Are you trying to tell me that if I watch Breaking right now, I'm not going to enjoy it, Dave?
So you will, because you watched it before.
Right.
You will enjoy Electric Boogaloo, but it's hard to watch Blazing Saddles now.
Right.
It's a little bit different. Like, it's still funny, but you're like, oh boy. And even though it's written by Richard Pryor, there's no way that movie's getting made today.
No.
No. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Well, let's get to the educational part of the show.
Yeah.
In case this hasn't been educational enough, let's go to the idiom. I hit the wrong one. Try again.
That's been happening a lot to you, Don.
I know.
Is that a Marble Madness graphic?
A little Marble Madness.
Yeah, that's really good there.
You play with your mind. You gotta.
Yeah. I see it. I see you.
It's deeper than just a video. That's when I
Is that
come
your
to
line?
the
Is that
show,
what you tell? Okay.
I go deep with thoughts.
Awesome.
So often as I can. Today's idiom, the phrase that pays. It's not a phrase that pays, but the phrase that we all have used before, and we don't know where it comes from.
Nope.
The whole 9 yards. Any idea where the whole 9 yard comes from? Dave, go.
Since everything has come from then, the 18th century.
Okay.
Every idiom is from the 18th century.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. Joe?
I know it's not sports related. That I do know. And I laugh because I saw a funny reel where it said either you, once you cross into your 40s, you either become really super into World War II or birds. One of the two. Like, and I like both of those things. I'm more of a Revolutionary War guy, or a Civil War specifically, even more so. I think it's a war thing. I want to say it's either something to do with the trench warfare or it's something to do with like the magazines or something like that. I could be wrong, but I think it's one of like, I don't know if the 9 yards was like the trench to trench thing, or that's how far they were apart, or if it's if it's like has something to do with like weaponry of some kind. I think.
Okay. Good guesses. I mean, both of yous are. One of yous is close.
Oh, yeah, go. All right.
No, it's not Dave. It's not Dave.
No, it's not for me.
It's not Dave. No. Okay. So, Joe, you're close. You're right there.
Like a magazine capacity or something?
From World War II, when helicopters or not helicopters, but fighter planes had the ammo. Okay. And what happened was the magazine was 9 yards. It was a 9 yard long magazine.
There you
go. And for all those who are just watching on Spotify, I was really shooting a weapon there.
I want to see them watch you on Spotify.
Yeah,
they start. I upload the clips now. They can.
Okay.
But the magazine was 9 yards long, so if they went through the whole thing, it was the whole 9 yards. So I'm out. What do you mean you're out? I used the whole 9 yards. So that was where the whole 9 yards came from. World War II. So Joe, you were pretty close on that one.
I knew it had to do
You
with
were right there.
magazines
Yeah,
of some
you were-
kind.
you
That's
were
what I
right
did.
there.
I didn't know it was fighter planes, so that's
Yeah.
interesting. That makes a lot more sense because I was like 9 yards is a lot. That seems like a lot to carry with you. If
Yeah.
it's on the plane already,
That's
yeah,
a
you
different
just hook
story.
it up. You just slide the
click it
box
and it
over. It's a lot easier.
Yeah,
That
a
makes
lot easier.
There you
You
go.
see 10
All right.
guys.
Look at that.
That would be awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your questions. Joey,
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming on to our show. I appreciate it. I know that Dave appreciates it too.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for your,
Big time. Thanks.
your plethora of knowledge and worldly experience.
Yes.
It was a blast
Pinatas.
having you on one of mine.
Name that movie, Don, before I go. A
What's
plethora
that?
of pinatas.
A plethora of pinatas. I'm going to go with Nacho Libre.
No,
But I have no idea.
no. Dave, you want to give it?
I have no
Three
idea.
Amigos. The Three
Oh,
Amigos.
the
Three Amigo.
Come
Oh.
on. So disappointing.
Yes.
So disappointing.
Oh, damn
On
it.
that note, it was very
Harder.
fun. I enjoyed hanging out with all of you. This was super fun and a nice break from the usual podcast that I do all day long. I gotta say.
Yes. So thank you. Check him out. Fantasy Pros. He's there telling you sports. Fantasy Black Book. Don't forget. Pick it up. Grab it. The new one. Not this.
Not 24s. You went 25s.
Well, you could, hey, listen. If you want, grab last year's too.
Grab both. I mean, why not? See if I was right about everything.
See how his predictions were, so you know how good your predictions are going to be now for the new year.
And
It's-
get football
it's
in
research
June
and
too. Just
development.
keep buying books. Just keep buying
That's
books.
right. That's right. But thank you. Seriously, thank you. And everybody else, thank you for hanging out with us, sending you love. Hopefully you liked the show. Hopefully you had a lot of fun with us and you laughed. Heard some stories back in the day. Dave's bachelor party, Joey's friend's bachelor party. Back in the day when we were kids wrestling. It was a lot of fun. So, and don't forget, send in your questions to shootingitstraightwdc@gmail.com so you can find out what Donnie C really thinks about shooting it straight with you. Catch you guys later.
Peace, everybody.
Wrestling. It's an awesome sport.